Okay, so I'm going to do in the private room only. I'm refining my skill set here, but it's going to be podcast format over a few videos, meaning you can be driving down the road and listen to me chatter about whatever I chatter about. And then if it's something I need you to see, then I'll say, hey, look, I'll try to describe it to you and say I'll put it in another video, a short video with what I'm just trying to describe. If you need to see a better detail of it, you can just inquire, ask me. And for you private members here, I will make a special shout out video with what you visually need to see. All right, so I've run into a problem already. Is that from members only to public? I want to see it says publish now, so I can change from publish to members only. I used to be able to set a time for it when I could publish, so you can see it's all members. Pugface, you have the same problem maybe? It says all channel members, so I click on that down there, and there it is. But the problem is it publishes now. I still have another video the one I just put up hours ago. I want you guys to still listen to a video that's like in a podcast format, nothing to see on the screen. And I think I'll start. That one's too late. I already made it, and this is the one I'm trying to publish now. This one here, but the one I'm talking to you now is going to get published first, so you know what my problem is with this one. Is that I wanted to publish like noon today, so it gives you time, you viewers over there, to listen, you followers over there to listen, and then to the other video before that one goes up. And I'm refining it, so I'll cut it shorter, I think, as I'm going to get the refinement down to a shorter podcast. I think that one's 40 minutes. This one that we're looking at in the screen. If you're looking at the screen this time. And I'm looking at the screen saying members only, all channel members. When I click on that, the description below the box below says members only. It says all channel members. So I get to restrict how I show the content. But I don't do the restriction down here. Now, some of you do pay more, and I meant to say that yesterday in the previous video, that if you want to downgrade, please do. And if I'm going to do the upgrade again, if I think about doing that, if I do it, I don't know what to do yet. That's why I wanted your feedback on it, the previous video. It's just one tier up. I think it's like $3. I don't know, and I can't change the emojis. And Pug said he didn't know how to change it. So I'll dive back into that again when I get time about the emoji. Those are the thumbnails. They're so small anyway, it's hard to identify. And I try to make it so I do see the difference in emoji, but I can't figure out what the hell emoji did I lose. They made it miniature. And you know, it's like, why not make it larger somehow or whatever it is. So I do it through, just knowing the different emojis. I know that I can see. So I can't change the time on this. It says set to instant premiere at the top. And the other one says unlisted. That's people with a link. Private video. It turns out YouTube, it's not private because YouTube said they can actually look at your private videos. We found that out when I published over here, and they delete me from over here even. That they're monitoring everything. The little police, the Gestapo tube. All right, at the very bottom it says schedule. I'm like, I got it. So I go to schedule, and it says instantly it selects without me selecting it from members only to public. At first I thought, oh, that's a great idea on the video, 2 videos previous, and I'm like, just now I'm like, oh, I didn't have a choice. I thought that was a suggestion, and I'm trying to find where it's not from members only to public, just schedule members only video. No, it's not an option. It just goes from members only to public. It goes from private to public. And those are 2 choices. And they have this new button over here, this new thing telling you it's new with a question mark. So you select new, and it says your members get early access to your videos. But before it goes public, at your chosen time. Sorry, I'm having a good eye day, which means my eyes, they're bouncing back and forth. Left eye, right eye. I have monovision. Once he's close, once he's far. And sometimes, depending, holding I'm looking at a cell phone, and something in the background could distract my eye, and then it'll go back and forth trying to focus. And I'll do like the speed reading trick, which means you, like saying chosen, right, and of your choosing. chosen. It's some screw ups happen in your brain that way because, frankly, you have to teach yourself. Not frankly, speed reading is pretty much you accept that. Oh, have you ever seen those things where they play with you? They say if you can read this, then you are 99% intelligent. And I always fall victim to it. I try to read it, and it'll do things like leave off. It'll say OV. And that's of, right? And you're reading it and you're like, of this and that. And you just keep going. It's your brain will automatically even though you never spelled of, OV. It's OF, right? So your brain will automatically pick it up as OV and a few words like that. And then I'm like, I read everything. I think only one I didn't figure out. And then you lean back and look at it, glean over it. And don't try to put the rest of the sentence together because this was leading in that paragraph. And so I was like, yeah, that was a tough one. The spelling was really really phonetic. And then sometimes they'll leave out letters and you'll still be able to read it. So let's see, chosen, CH, it was CHO. Okay, you can see ZN. And you'll just keep reading, chosen, keep going. It's your brain will look at it and flip it phonetically and know exactly what it meant. So there you are. So now in this new format, this podcast idea of communicating with you, that way you can drive and just listen to me chatter up. I'm just trying it out. And of course I'll do the hard copy videos, which you have coming up. And I'll try to end this video just now. You have coming up, I'm going to show you that, I already showed Zachary, I'm going to show you the props, the thrusters of the Titan, how they were, remember he salvaged things from different, he repurposed things from different usage. It wasn't direct usage to this. Keep in mind, a thruster is just a thruster. It's just a big fan that can go a certain depth, it's rated per depth. And I don't think his thrusters were used. I don't think that, but they were dual thrusters side by side. Remember, his thrusters then are putting one on each side up high and then one in the midsection down low. They use all my research on thrusters and this subsea stuff. There is 6 axis points. I don't know, I'm trying to remember their term they use, global or 6 axis, which is like a gimbal, if you will, in multiple directions. And that's the one that gives you the most control. This vessel had 2 thrusters on the front that would go up and 2 that would pull forward. In theory, this is probably applied physics lab did that. In theory, you would try to make it so if I wanted to go forward and up on a diagonal, that one thruster, the top thrusters would pull up a little bit, and then the forward pulling thrusters would pull a little bit also. So they would work uniformly together. You get a pull and push, whereas the other vessel with the 6 axis has thrusters that will spiral, will turn, will pivot in the direction you want to go. And now you pull, and you're pulling in that one direction. Instead of using 4 motors to do it, they can do it with 2 motors. Just need to turn it in the direction you need to go and pull in that direction. So if you want to go straight, it would turn the 2 motors, rotate them, and then you would just go in that direction, whether it be down, up, anywhere the direction can point, spinning to 360 degrees even, these motors can. Whereas his motors were stationary, they can only pull up. And remember, they were not on the side of the vessel, they were more near the top. So if it's a clock, he had it more like about 2:30, not 3 o'clock, which would be halfway. More about 2:30, I would say, maybe about 2:15 on the clock. The 2 thrusters, and the other one would have been about 10:15, if I got that right. Maybe, yeah. So it's 10:45 setting, and his thrusters would, when they were activated, he's actually pulling 2 of them to go up. He's actually working against himself. Part of the, because where it's not very efficient. Around 3 o'clock on the vessel would have been better than the top. Except for, and I would just hold that. I was going to say except, but I never saw version 1 having it in the mid belly, so it was never tried there. It was always near the top. never tried in the middle, the midsection. When you remove the landing gear and the weights, etc., but you still have these people, which should not be understated that the people were bigger people in there this trip. He did weigh people, as we know, but it seems like no matter what the weight was, he always went down. Anyone never said, oh, we had to get rid of somebody because they were too heavy, we had to do it. The weight is of a concern. It would be a slow ascent back to the surface, right? The ascent to the surface. Because they have to weight. Even when you dump so he dumps the weights, that changes the dynamics too. And I don't know how his thrusters were programmed. Were they programmed that you can just push the lever forward and it automatically will do the compensation for the little bit of thrusters up, a little bit of thrusters pulling forward, and now you go on a diagonal? Is that, or did he have to do thrusters up, put a little bit on the controller, say the left side, thrusters up, and bottom right, thruster right pull now, because remember he can spin. You should be able to spin. That means you're going to turn off thruster to the left, for example, and you turn on thrusters to the right. That will give you a counterclockwise rotation. And then if you don't fall to the bottom, you also have to have the other two thrusters above your head, if you will, keeping you stationary above, going up now. And now if he wants to pull, if he's turning clockwise, his tail end comes around and whacks something. That's not a good thing. I'm not saying that happened at all. But, or that little lanyard they had back there snags on something, that can be problematic for sure. It will be. I know some of you or some people have written me saying that he threw the controller at somebody. I looked at that and I couldn't find that even in the complaint that the guy that was supposed to be impacted by this controller, remember he was trying to sue for his money from OceanGate. So you would think that would be in the complaint, because remember he sued after he was fired. So you would think he would be able to cite the worst of the worst, including being a controller to try to discredit anything that Rush would say. And Rush threw a controller at me and hit me in the head. Well, it was not said in that complaint, the court case. On the other hand, it was said in the defense of OceanGate that this guy that's been called an engineer, he's really from Scotland, I think, and he was just a submarine operator, which isn't the same as a ROV operator. He remember the flashing. This guy he's not stable. I've never pulled my pants down to flash my coworkers. No matter what their argument is, I've never thought, hey, let me show them my balls from behind, because that's what happens when a guy flashes and bends his ass over. You're not only get to see a little ass, you're going to see little balls. Now we get into the little bit of the place that might be traumatic to look at, for somebody. You're like, come on, man, I can't unsee that. Remember, this is more of the format I'm using now is of podcast, so I'm giving you some visuals. Yeah, so I visualize, I've never seen a guy's ass, but I visualize this hairy ass when he bends over, a little bit hairy back, and this hairy balls hanging down perhaps. I don't know if he shaves or not, but I just gave that a thought. So now I've got it in your head. But yeah, so you see my point though? It's kind of traumatic, isn't it? Me even saying it. And this is the guy that's supposed to be worried about safety and all that. His form of argument is, here, let me show you my cock and balls. The cock shrinks up, but you won't be seeing that. You might see some ball action, but you're going to see some ass. And he puts that as I think maybe I'm reaching on this one, but wasn't it said that, maybe I'm making that part up, that he put it in on the glass inside, that he was able to, the door, I think it was something like that he, one of the reports was that he backed his ass up to that glass, the glass that's so concerned about, and that's where we get to do that. So now think about that. That means ass cheek, if he touched it, his ass cheek goes flat. Now, it might look funny, to tell you the truth, to see his ass squish up on the glass. But you'd have to have a hell of a rapport with people to do that. Now, Franz would do that shit, and I don't think it's funny. I'm like, come on, man, it's my line altogether. Some people are just flashers. And some people are flashers, so that part I'll add. Maybe you know some flashing friends. Franz is my flashing friends. With that said, I'm a practical joker, so I ordered a dildo that looks similar to a, so this is where I'm having a little fun now, and I'm going to end the video because I got to leave you with a joke. You know, I love my joke and sense of humor. So I order a dildo. Franz is a flashing son of a bitch, right? Hey, what are you doing? What's over here? And then all of a sudden I'll look over and I'm talking to him, and he's kind of hinting, you know, like, look down, look down. And he can't help it. You know, guys, you look down because somebody's saying, you know, look. They're like putting your finger like right here or something, and you look, and you're like, oh, fuck, man, really? And, you know, he's got his little dick hanging out of his pants. I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, guy, you know, it's humor for him. So I'm getting the dude back. What I do is I order a dildo. This was only like a few months back. The dildo looks like, I mean, they look original, right off Amazon. It's got the balls. It's got the head. Its thing must be 8.5 inches. It's got a vein in it. So, you know, for details, guys, it looks awesome, right? It's clear. It's a clear one, like silicone, I guess. So I ordered some bitch. This is my joke now, right? So I put it in my pants. So visualize this. I put it in my pants. Some shorts, sweatpants I had. And then the balls thing I was going to cut off because it's got balls in the way. But you know what? I got away. I put a loose shirt over me a bit to hide this 9-inch or maybe total 10-inch dildo. And I put it in my pants and I put it down there so I can show in my pants. And I said, Franz comes over and I said, yeah, I'm just talking to him. I said, Franz, let me share something with you, man. And I talk like that. I'm like, I fucking took a Viagra last night. And I'm one of those people, man, that want it with the boner that won't go away, and it's like it's a fucking painful thing. And he starts cracking up, right? And I don't show him yet, right? I'm cracking. I'm like, oh. And then I stand up and I pull my sweatpants tight to where you can see this dildo cock, and this thing's like, it's like hanging down there, like it's fucking impressive, right? And he you know, and I pull it tight to it. I'm like, look, it's harder to fucking rock. But remember, it's harder to rock it wouldn't be down, right? But your brain can't pick that up yet to say, wait a minute, the detail's wrong. So it's down, it's hanging down next to my leg. So I pull it tight, I pull the pants over, and you can see the outline of this monster, right? And I'm like, oh, it swole me up too, right? Franz, like, he looks, and then he turns his head. All of a sudden, the boy that flashes me all the time, this is the point I'm making him back to the video. The boy that flashes me all the fucking time, all of a sudden getting gun shy, looking next to it, looking at a dildo wrapped with the sweatpants around it. You know, I'm not showing my real penis here, I'm showing this dildo there. And he turns, I'm like, no, man, look, he turns his head and I'll step towards him because he's sitting in the chair, and he turns it, you know, he's like backing up like I'm going to touch him with my dick, right? So, but he can't back up in the chair and come towards me, going to get closer to the monster. So I sit down again, and you can see him like, you know, evaluating in his brain, like, fuck, that thing is fucking huge, right? And I know, and he's probably thinking, how come my dick doesn't get that big, right? Because he's used them a few times. He's told me, the pill I mean. So I'm laughing. Oh, incidentally, I tried the pill for real, and oh my gosh, I'm one of the ones that can't use it. Blood pressure it was terrible. I think I got nausea and everything. I was like, I couldn't wait for the thing to go away, and it wasn't a full pill. Oh, never. And I still got like 9 of them left. I told him, you want some? He said he still got some. I said, well, I'm stuck with them. And it's like, oh, and I got them years ago. You know, I wanted to try them out. You know, you had to tell your doctor, you know, time. They wrote on there erectile dysfunction to get the free samples. Oh, what an embarrassment. Now, you're talking about ego and pride and everything else. I had to get it from the ladies at the front, and it's got erectile dysfunction. Oh, what embarrassment. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to get these pills because they were like crazy, like $100 each at the time, right? Something crazy. But I got the sample pack of like 8. Now they're like $10 or whatever they are, and it was a real Viagra. So anyway, so then I stand back, and he's like, oh, it's killing me, and I'm holding my leg and rocking my body like, oh, this thing is killing me. So I stand up, and he backs up again like I'm coming at him. He backs up like a fucking cat in the chair, and I'm like, what's wrong, man? You show me your penis all the time. Look at this thing. And I reach down there, like in my pants, and I grab it, right? I'm like, oh, and you can see him like, oh shit. You know, he's backing up the chair a little more. And then he closes his eye and turns his head like a child. You know, pride's big as shit, right? And he's afraid that the dick's gonna touch him. I'm pulling out, right? And he's still clutching. Look at this thing, Pride. Look. And I'm hurting like that. I said, look, and he's got his eyes closed and turned his face. I'm standing up on by the chair over him. But in front of him so he can't escape, right? And to escape, he's got to come forward and touch the penis. And that's going to make him gay or make him disappear. So I take it out in my hand and I slap him in the head. And I start busting up laughing. I said, look. And he caught on, man, that I was just, that it was a dildo. Oh, we started backing up. He started laughing then. Oh, so the kicker is my part 2 of this whole joke that I've not followed up with is go to a bar with him and with George, another guy, a friend of ours, and sit there and do the same thing. Go, George, oh, man, I took a Viagra. It's killing me. And let George look down there. George's a black friend of ours, right? So you know the joke about black people with big penises. So I'm going to put that down there and let George see that and let George go, whoa, dude. We joke about that stuff. We can do that. George tells white jokes, and I don't really have any black jokes. Not that I might have had some back in the day. I don't remember anymore. So, you know, you could say any joke back then. Asian guy walks in there, you know, Italian. Now you can't say any of that stuff anymore. All that's like insensitive. But George can say white jokes all the time, and we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit. Anyway, we've been friends for 30 years. All right, so end the video. Once you guys enjoy that good laugh at the end, I hope. And I'm going to do the podcast format for a few videos. And tell me if there's too long of podcasty. And we'll go from there. Take care. Oh, and that video, I've got to now sit on it for a while at noon, and then I can publish because I can't schedule it. I'm sorry, I can schedule it to go to public. So what I think I'll do is, right, it says from members only to public. I think now I know I can't, I'll use that to my advantage because it'll allow me to change the time. So I'll say today at noon, and I'll publish it to you. Oh, okay. Upload. I hope this is right. Yeah, visibility scheduled. And then I'll change it. I'll switch it from... fuck. No. It's going public to you now. And then it's going to... Shit. I'm not ready for that. Let me just... but I like the title of it, so I've got to go back in here. I wanted this to come out first, and then that one. Shit. But I like the title. Yeah, podcast format. This means you can listen and drive, tighten replies, and okay, so let me delete that upload. And I'm going to upload this one first, and then I'll do the next one. But this one you're hearing now, it should be around noon that you're listening to it, my time, Eastern. Take care. Love you guys. Oh, and I try to do the Argos like Argos is in Australia. Argos, I try to put up an early few videos for you guys out that way for the sport of it. And, yeah, so I think I'll just let it ride for now, the time schedule I have it on, and which is pretty much around noon or random, what the hell. Take care. Love you guys. Love you guys. Thanks for taking care of my lovey cats. Bye.